Hello, good morning, and good afternoon, good evening, from wherever you are within the world. You're also known as the Simple Consultant. Now, today I'm going to address something very sensitive within our community, which a number of people has been finding difficult to attend to, and possibly because they've not been able to get the dynamics of how they can take place or take part in it. I'm talking about merchants within our Kringle private society. A number of merchants are within our community, and they are sitting back waiting for us to get into the economy phase. And unknown to them, this economy phase that they are talking about has already begun, because the economy of this our community is directly proportional to those merchants who will accept partial payments of Pringles for exchange of goods and services. If you are just tuning into my channel or to my broadcast, maybe now that I'm live, or consequently, I would appreciate it if you can give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, so that next time I'm online, you get a notification. Click on the bell button also, because that's very, very needful to decide or determine when I'm available or not. All right. So today my title is going to be how merchants will make benefits or will participate in our economy while we are building into a billion verified active members. Okay. Now I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to just talk about something I've just quickly penned down. And then with that, I go into details, summarize on it, and I'll call it quit for today. Okay. So um, okay, I think there is a little delay. I don't know, maybe it's from my network, or I really don't know what the issue is. But then I think I would need that screen to be shared so that I can take my time to explain what I have for us. And what I have for us, it's all integrated into our system in this Kringle private society. You see, so many of us see this thing and then we do not sit down to connect the dots. And then that's the reason why we are not getting the results that we ought to get. You know, so many of us are in TBC, so many of us has as many coins as possible, but still we are not yet able to connect the dots. And it's especially on the sides of these merchants. If these merchants are able to connect the dots very well, I can tell you that a good number of them could be making as much as $1,000 on a monthly basis, or even more. And it's a factor of how well they understand our system. Okay, I do not know why this is taking so much time. It's becoming very annoying, you know. Maybe I may need to look into a number of things now to be sure that it's okay. Just give me a while. I have to get this done. All right, I think I've addressed the matter. So now, back to what I wanted to do, sharing my screen. So I think now the screen is being shared. So let me go into the details. And as much as possible, I'll try to be brief on this particular broadcast. Now, let me quickly go into this particular page. And now this particular page talks about what I tell the merchants I meet. And this is it. What I tell the merchants I meet. The first thing is, after I've introduced them into our Kringle Private Society, and then they want to know how to make their money. The first thing is discuss the interactive video with them. That's the first thing I do. And then the interactive video will explain a whole number of things to them. And then once they have gotten this understanding, they would still want to ask, how do I kick off? Now, it is the part that they ask, how do I kick off, that I now take time to explain this in details. So stay with me as I explain it to you. And if you are a merchant within the Kringle Private Society, or you intend to be, or you are a new member and you want to also become a member in the community, and you've not been able to factor out how to make your profits, and you are thinking that you only need to keep paying from your pocket every day, well, no. It's high time you understood how our system operates and key into it, because there are several plugins. Just plug in and then begin to make your money. Gradually, before you know it, you are making it in their millions, in their billions. As you choose to lay your bed, so you shall lie on it. Now, it is assumed that at this point, they have become members in the community. They have walked into the interactive videos and they've understood it. Now, we want to kick off. Now, it is also known that at this point, they already have a TBC wallet and they also have a Bitcoin wallet. Okay, now they should always start slow. Members in the community can decide to start as a billionaire or as a millionaire based on their financial capacity. But merchants in our Kringle Private Society are expected to start slow and then grow themselves into being a billionaire within our private community. I want to repeat myself. Merchants in our Kringle Private Society are expected to start low or slow and grow themselves into becoming a billionaire or a millionaire. And you see, most of these merchants who will grow into becoming billionaires or millionaires will have a large scale of residuals, because they are rendering services to customers, and those customers are willing to pay them at a percentage of Kringles and also at a percentage of cash. Okay. Now, based on that, let me begin these few instances that I have already laid out. Instance number one, build your wealth in digital currency within our economy. And it is expected that at this point, the merchant has contracted you to build his or her or their application. As soon as you have finished building their application, the application is their selling point. As merchants in this our community, the application is used to advertise their goods and services. You, as a member in the community, you are expected to model their shop or their shops, if they are plural shops, model it and then feature it in this application so that they can advertise their goods and services. It is expected that customers are supposed to be able to carry their merchants in their pockets through their Android or Apple phone, as the case may be. I believe by next year, we'll be working on the Apple version of this particular application. And then we can build into becoming a formidable economy by the year 2021. Now, that said, every merchant should have a merchant application. It doesn't come for free. The merchant application comes at a price, and it is a factor of how big your shop is, because the bigger your shop, meaning that there will be more goods to model, and that means it's going to be a bit more cost implicative. If it's a small shop, the amount will be minimal. If it's a big shop, the amount will be quite reasonable. For instance, myself, when I work with, now, do not work based on what I have said, okay? You can choose your own model, however you go about it, that which will actually create ease of communication and proper business relationship between yourself and the customers that you meet. But I am using myself as an instance. A small scaled shop now that wants to have this merchant application. Remember that that's his selling point. And as he has this application, Their customers can share the app with their immediate friends or loved ones, or their colleagues or business partners, so that as much as they have that app, you are also advertising your services or your goods, as the case may be. So for medium scale businesses, I do charge 10,000 naira. It ranges between 5 and 10,000 naira. This is the margin, 5 and 10,000 naira. Of very small business should be able to do that, because very small businesses should be able to gain a level of sustainability financially before they can expand to say they want to have a merchant app. So I am talking about medium scale businesses and businesses that are into or about to move into becoming a medium scale businesses. So this application should border more on medium scale businesses and large scale businesses, as the case may be. At this point, we are taking time to build some other features within this merchant application so that it will become very, very formidable, and then it's going to be to the convenience of the members who will use this application, and also for the merchants who are also going to be using it to host their products. Okay. So small scale businesses are between 5 to 10,000. Medium scale businesses ranges between 10,000 and 15,000. And then large scale businesses ranges between 15,000 and 25, 30,000. It depends on how big their stocks or their goods are. Now, when you sit down and factor what it will take for you to go about modeling it and then putting it in Photoshop, editing it, and then making it look beautiful and attractive, and then featuring it on the merchant application, taking through this process cycle of processes, and then taking into consideration what your teams are going to do. If it's going to be something quite big and voluminous, there should be a team in charge of documenting or writing something that is worth it. There should be a team that is in charge of modeling. There should be a team that is in charge of putting things together. And there should also be a team that will criticize to get the best of all these things. These things are not done as individuals, but you can start small, and over time you grow and expand your horizon. Okay. So I have given you the conditions of how much I will charge these merchants to host this application for them. It's not for free. If you're in for business, then let's do business, because what you are putting into place now is, after 6 months, you will find out that your customer base who are patronizing you using that application could range into 500 or even 1,000. Now, the most important thing is this: as members in this community, as merchants in this community, and also as administrators in this community, this application has a future such that everybody that will have that application of yours to help to advertise your business, there will be a link. That link will be your own referral link, where you can put in your link as a member or as a merchant, so that anybody who is a customer patronizing you will have an option of clicking on that link. And when he clicks on that link, he can become a member in this our Kringle Private Society, and also have his own wallet. And at that point, if he chooses to become a member and has a wallet, you as a merchant within our Kringle Private Society should decide and tell all of your customers that you are accepting 10% in Kringle value, 90% in cash, to make it more detailed or more explanatory. For instance, you have something you are selling for about $500. Now, you are giving at a 10% discount of $500, meaning that $500, you are giving a discount of $50, and then $450 you can pay me in whichever prevailing currency of your choosing. So all of your customers will pay you $50 in Kringle value, and then $450 in whichever prevailing currency you are using within the entire world that you are residing in. This is how the system is built. I give another instance in our local currency, Naira. You buy something worth 50,000 Naira, and then you are giving a discount of 10% in Kringle value, 90% in cash. Now, your customers can choose, because there will be an option. There are no mandatory responsibilities that are required of you, my customers. But there are opportunities we are offering you by giving you a discount of 10% in Kringles, 90% in cash. On that grounds, when you pay 90% in cash, because you are already a member, there are no financial implications. It is free. As a merchant in this our Kringle Private Society, you are supposed to give your customers the ability to patronize you for free, as long as you haven't exceeded the $50 limit. That's why you need to explore the interactive video. That beautiful young lady there said that you can do business with members in the community, which are merchants, at a prevailing cost of $50 per day at no financial implication. You don't need to pay your subscription fee. Just use it at $50 maximum. The moment it exceeds $50, it is expected that you pay your subscription fee, which could be starter level, millionaire, or billionaire. You will be the one to make your choice. If you do go about paying your subscription fee as a starter, which most people will want to begin with, you can then make a transaction limit of $100 per transaction. Okay? Now, I have said that. Now, I believe I've covered these points. Build your wealth in digital currency within our economy. Now, how are you building your wealth? Because it is digital currency within our economy. Our own digital currency is called Kringle coins. Now, Kringle coins simply means our private medium of exchange that is used amongst us as members within the community. So, although you are giving a free gift, as a merchant in the community, it is expected that you grow your wealth by accepting Kringles from your customers, and then at a 10% subscription level, and then give them services. Now, this should be done for at least 3 months. It should be done for at least 3 months. Now, within these 3 months, there will be what you call a free license, for these customers to patronize you, because every customer, every member, everybody in the Kringle Private Society has a 3 months period to do business within members within the community, and after 90 days, their account becomes suspended until they pay a subscription fee, then their account comes back alive. So within these 3 months, it's a trial period, and that trial period is an opportunity for these particular merchants to make their customers see the need for them to enjoy the services that they are providing for them at 10% discounts and 90% cash. Now, after 3 months, after 90 days, as the case may be, what happens is that the account is what? Blocked. You would have to pay a subscription fee. And then as soon as you pay the subscription fee, then if you think that the services that are being rendered to you by the merchants are worthwhile, then you have to pay your subscription fee. And within that 3 months, it is expected that this particular merchant should have been able to grow his customer base by sharing his merchant application to everybody he comes across, and encourage them to share it with their loved ones and friends, because he wants to advertise his product. Now, as he is going about it, there will also be an administrative side of the wallet, or the administrative side of this merchant application, who and which will be handled by members of the community. Now, that particular member in the community should be responsible for bringing in blogs and dropping notifications on that app, so that members who are customers that are watching or using the app will be getting these notifications and will be slowly understanding the protocols, the steps, and the nitty-gritties of our community, and we'll see the need to pay in Kringles, and we'll see the need to do business with members in the community in digital currencies. And then we'll also see the need why paper money is fizzling out, and that the system is moving into a completely digital and cashless economy. It is this time that these particular customers would know and understand and decide to do business with them. Remember, after 3 months, what happens? The account is blocked. And if this customer does the right thing, it's expected that he's supposed to pay that subscription fee. When he pays the subscription fee, then 50% goes to the merchant, and then the other 50% goes to the system to maintain the technology in this system. I believe I've been able to explain this particular chapter or this particular instance very well. Let's move into the next instance. This is the next instance. Build your wealth in cash/Bitcoin outside the economy from your customers. I believe that this particular last instance I gave has been able to link to this second one. It just means that as soon as your account has expired, peradventure you refuse to pay the subscription fee for the next 3 months, it is expired. Now, if you want to continue enjoying the services that this particular merchant is rendering to you, okay, you have to pay your subscription fee, or you pay or you do business from the merchant or with the merchant at 100% cash. But then you will choose whichever one you want to do. Okay. Now, if you choose to pay him at a particular instance of our digital currency, which is 10%. Now, it's in the place of the merchant to decide what kind of subscription fee he will collect from their customers. At this particular point that he's saying, build your wealth in cash outside the economy. Now, before the merchant, the customer will want to pay because he has seen that his account has expired. The merchant should tell him there are 3 subscription levels. There is the millionaire, there is the billionaire, and there is also the starter. You will choose which one you want to belong to. If you choose to go about the billionaire level, you'll be given some instance of coins, some amount of coins that you can use within members, within participating merchants in the community. That is, if you choose to subscribe as a billionaire. If you choose to subscribe as a millionaire, same thing applies. You will also enjoy a certain amount of Kringle values given to you as a member within our Kringle private society. But then if you choose to go about it as a starter, you are only going to enjoy residual income in Bitcoin. If you invite someone and the person chooses to pay his subscription fee, you get a 50% of it. Of course, the interactive video would have explained everything to the person. Now, at this instance, if this customer has over 100 residuals or 100 customers he has given out this merchant application to, and at the end of these 3 months, they discover that their account is no more active and they want to render a certain percentage of Kringles to their customer, they will want to pay. And then as a merchant, if they choose to pay as a starter, they will pay as a starter and you continue to accept 10% in Kringle value, 90% in cash. Please pay attention to this part. If they choose to pay as a starter, continue to accept 10% in Kringles, 90% at this level. We are still in our community. Now, if they choose to pay as a millionaire, then you would appreciate your subscription level to become what? 20% in Kringles and then 80% in cash. Now, if they choose come in as a billionaire, then you increase your subscription level or you increase the amount of Kringles you are collecting from them to become 30% in Kringles, 70% in cash. Why do you choose to go about it this way? It is simple, because if as a merchant you decide to come into that level, you should also step up to become a billionaire so that you are going to enjoy all the residuals as a billionaire, as a millionaire, and as a starter. If you are still on the starter level and you decide to collect 10% for starters, 20% as millionaires, and 30% as billionaires in Kringle value and the corresponding alternative in cash, you may be running at a loss because you will not be getting a 50% as a billionaire if you are a starter. You will not be getting a 50% as a millionaire if you are a starter. You are only giving 50% of your own level, whichever level you choose to come in for. So I want you to please kindly take note of it. Now, build your wealth in cash/Bitcoin outside the economy from your customers means that as many of them that choose to pay their subscription fee, you are getting 50% of it in Kringle value, in Bitcoin value. Well, when you're getting it in Bitcoin value, they also pay you at a certain percentage in Kringle. So you are getting two wealth. You are getting our private economy wealth in Kringles, and you are also getting 50% in Bitcoin because they are paying you for subscription fee and you get 50% of it. Now, Yours truly is a cash center. Now, you need to contact me or anybody you feel you can contact to pay that subscription fee. I have gathered a reasonable amount of bulk credit so that if such kind of exercise comes in, you just send in the money to my account. Once it reflects into my account, I fund your wallet or I fund your Kringle.cash account instantly. So there is no cause for alarm. Now, I have said this, and it's up to you to decide to share your merchant app to as many customers as you wish. And those customers, after 3 months of patronizing you at 10% in Kringles, 90% in cash, once their account expires, real business begins. If they're interested in patronizing you and helping to grow our economy, then they have to pay their subscription fee and then continue enjoying those businesses, all the privileges, all the opportunities that these merchants are rendering to them. Now, that's why I said use the 10, 20, 30 rule to create balance for your business. I believe I've already said something about that on this level. So if it's on the 10, 10 means the person is being charged 10% in Kringles, 90% in cash. As a starter, if he's a millionaire, then it is 20% in Kringles, 80% in cash. If he is a billionaire, then 30% in Kringles, 70% in cash. Of course, for you to be able to enjoy these three privileges, you must be on the billionaire level. If you are not in the billionaire level and you're in the starter level, you may not be able to create balance for your system or your business because the residual you'll be getting may not be enough to compensate for the Kringle value that you are accepting. So if you are going to enjoy this privilege, please step up to be a billionaire so that as many customers who also do business with you can decide to pay you at whichever prevailing rate they want to pay you. Okay? Now, that said, step up your participation level from starter to what? Millionaire. Now, when you are going to step up this level, should be dependent on how many customers are regularly patronizing you in Kringles. If all your customers is going to start patronizing you in Kringles, it will take about 3 to 6 months for all your customers to make it a habit. You have to continue to emphasize on them paying you in Kringles, and then when their account expires, they have to what? Pay their subscription fee, you get your 50%. As long as you have been able to make them see it as a routine, it becomes easy. And then at that point, once you are sure that every month you are getting a reasonable amount of residual, it only takes 2 customers to pay their subscription fee, and then you get 50% of it, each of them 50-50, 100%, and it will cover for you for the following months. If you are on the starter level, then that means you would need 4 customers to pay their subscription fee so that you can get a 50% of each of these, which will complete 100% to cover for you to step up into being in the millionaire level. And if you do your homework very well, you should have at least 100 to 200 customers that are regularly patronizing you on a 10, 20, 30 ratio as you are building the economy into a billion. Okay? Now, enough said on that. So the moment you've been able to build kindly close the door. So provided you've been able to build your residual to a reasonable amount, remember that you are a starter. As a starter, you build your level from starter to millionaire, meaning that you need 50% from 4 customers who pay their subscription fee. You get 50% each to be able to cover for you to step up into becoming a millionaire within our Kringle Private Society. I hope I'm taking time to give explanations and you're understanding it. Now, once you've been able to do that very well and you have been able to start getting residuals, always please take note of this thing. In this particular instance, this is an instance that was given to us. When you go into your Kringle, your TBC 009, when you go into your TBC 009 and then you come to this particular place, Now, when you come here and then you click on read more, this read more comes down to this, and then you study this information, you understand what we are doing. Now, take note of this. Like I earlier on said, it takes up to 90 days. Now, this is the billionaire level. It said 8 grains of gold, which is a monthly cost, and late payments are acceptable until 90 days before TPC coins needs to be returned back to the admin wallet. I want you to also know that it doesn't mean that if you skip a month that you'll be pardoned. The system is designed such that you can pay for arrears as new members. Now you can pay arrears for 2 months. You cannot pay arrears for 3 months. You can only pay for arrears for 2 months and then pay for that current month. If after 3 months you are not consistent, your coins are withdrawn. The protocol that applies to billionaire also applies to millionaire. Same thing applies, and it also applies to starter. But you see, nothing much was said about starter. But still, starters, when they pay their subscription fee, after 90 days, if they are just enjoying the gift, then abuse may actually take place. It is expected that accountability should be shown on the 3 sides. So even as a starter, you should be able to pay your subscription fee so that you can be able to render services to the merchant who introduced you to the community. So though it wasn't explicitly stated for 90 days or for your accounts to be suspended for a while, it also applies. Everybody has a 90-day window period if you refuse to pay your subscription fee. It didn't apply this month because a promo was on from the month of October to December. From January, you'll find out that for new members who refuse to pay their subscription fee and they joined around October, you'll find out that from the month of January, their accounts will be suspended. They may need to pay a subscription fee to have their accounts back on and live. Okay, now that said, coming to this point, repeat the cycle again. Repeat the cycle again simply means you have to tell more of your customers to tell their friends and loved ones so that you can render services to them. Okay, now you can decide to make it such like you are offering a promotion to your customers. If you are able to bring in 1 person or 2 people or 3 people or 4 people, as the case may be, that you may charge him or her or them at a certain discount, because those people that are coming in, they are going to enter into the cycle because it's like a cog on the wheel. It's a system that is made up of several wheels. Like if you look into a wristwatch, you find out that there are several wheels. There is the small, there is the big. Now, as more customers are coming in, it means that there are potential members that will pay you subscription fee and you get a 50%. So you can offer a discount to your customers, telling them that if you choose to patronize me and tell your friends, I may charge you at a certain discount, but that discount should not exceed 10 to 15%, maximum of 10 to 15%. In fact, you should make it 10% because we are still building. Your concept, the whole concept is to make sure that the residual you are getting is more than enough to be able to accommodate for the Kringles you are accepting. And then as more you are getting more residuals, you increase the Kringles you are accepting to the point where you are going to be accepting as much as 50% in Kringles, 50% in cash, because the strength of your residual is dependent on how many customers are paying you their monthly subscription fee, and they are also enjoying services or things that you are offering them on a monthly basis. I hope these information I'm giving are as clear as possible, because I want everyone to share it. If you listen and you enjoy it, share it. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you think what I'm saying makes sense. I would appreciate it. Now let's go to the next one. We have 2 more to go. After you have repeated the cycle, what is the cycle? Build your wealth in the digital currency within our economy, and then make sure that you give it out. Well, it can be more than 3 months, okay, but already you are getting residuals. Build your wealth in cash and bitcoins. When the person's account expires, for him to continue enjoying services from you, he has to pay his subscription fee. You get 50% of it. The more customers who come in and they pay subscription fee, you get more 50%. It is expected also that you already have a Bitcoin account, which you can link to your bank account. You can withdraw it into your bank and then use it to restock your services, to restock your goods, and then grow your system. As simple as that. Remember to always apply the 10-20-30 rule. 10 as a starter, 20 as a millionaire, 30 as a billionaire. But to enjoy these 3 privileges, you must also be a billionaire in our system. Now, step up your participation level. Now, this time, it is no more stepping it up from being a starter to a millionaire, but now you are stepping it up from being a millionaire to being a billionaire within our Kringle private society. And then after you have done that, you grow your system for another period of 6 to 1 year. And by then, it is expected that your customer base or those who already have the merchant application, your merchant application should be getting to 200 or 250 or 300. All these people will be patronizing you. All these people will understand that there are also participating merchants that accept a certain percentage in Kringles, a certain percentage in cash. So they will also explore all those merchants and do business with them. Another thing I want you to understand is if a customer comes to you and that customer is not your direct referral, you can afford to charge him at a minimum of 10% in Kringles, 90% in cash, irrespective of whichever level he's in, as a billionaire, as a millionaire, or as a starter. Now, this is my line of thoughts because you are trying as much as possible to what? Create balance. You are as much as possible trying to create balance in our Kringle private society. So if he decides to patronize you, you are not getting any referral, any residual, because he's not your direct referral. He's not someone that you can get a residual from anytime he pays his subscription fee. Nonetheless, we are still growing, we are still very tender. So let there be a general principle of 10% for those people who are your direct referrals and those that are not your direct referrals. And as the community grows and the billionaire level is filled out, and then it now goes into the millionaire level, and then there is now scarcity where there is no sufficient amount of TBC in circulation. It is now Kringles, and it's going to be small Kringles. There will be high demand for Kringle coins. At that point, you can decide to appreciate the amount of Kringles you're collecting from 10% to 20%, irrespective of whichever subscription level he is, or irrespective of whether he's your direct referral or not. As long as he wants to render services or he wants to do business with you, he's not your direct referral, and then there is no more TBC in circulation. The mass adoption team has been filled out, the billionaire level has been filled out. You can decide to step up to take 20% in Kringles, because as the community grows, Kringle becomes more invaluable, it becomes more scarce, and it appreciates in value as members come into the community. So you will use your discretion to choose which one you want to do or which amount of Kringles to accept. Now, the last thing I have to talk about, I've taken time to explain this thing. I hope it's understandable and people will follow suit. Grow yourself into the mass adoption team. I believe if you've been able to build to this point, and it's going to be simple for you to be in the mass adoption team. Mass adoption team simply means you take the initiative and bring in your colleagues. You're already a merchant. Bring in your fellow merchants to this community, and then as you do so, you are rewarded and getting 1 TBC coin. You are bringing in your fellow merchants in the community. Once they pay their subscription fee, or they don't pay their subscription, or they don't pay their provided they are members in the community. If they pay the subscription fee, you get 50% as a billionaire. Now, if they don't pay their subscription fee and they have become a merchant in the community, you are also given 1 TBC because you are a billionaire in our TBC community. I believe I've been able to explain this thing very well. And let me quickly go back to my page. And yeah, Brother Tindy, always available. I really admire this brother. Thank you so much for being present in my broadcast. Let me see what you have to say. Yeah, greetings, brother. And you making a lot of sense. Thank you very much. I do appreciate. The Billionaire Program is the bombshell. You are right, my co-broadcaster. You see, I really like the way Tindy goes about his broadcasting. He has been consistent. He has a goal, and I want to advertise him. His goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers. In our Kringle Private Society, we don't compete among each other. We, as much as possible, speak out the mind of the administration of our Kringle Private Society. And the mind of the administration should also be the mind of the broadcasters in our community as we build into 1 billion verified active members. So I encourage you, if you see his broadcast, subscribe to his channel, Lovers of Abundance. Subscribe to his channel and then help him to grow his community until he has 1,000 and more subscribers, because he is representing our community very well. Okay? Now, you are very clear in your words, brother. Thank you very much. Yeah, the merchant services is awesome because I am a merchant too. I offer 50% TBC, 50%. You see? So if you're interested in doing business with him, reach out to him. He's wonderful. I can tell you, the Kringle Private Society are group of intellectuals, people who are very, very passionate about seeing that the world is a better place. So you can do business with him. I can assure you, you enjoy services or you enjoy doing business with him. I can tell you that. All right, 50% in Ripple, 50% in Ethereum, 50% in Litecoin, 50% in Bitcoin for all my HOT animation services. That's to say, you want to help in advertising your products or you want to add a little of spice to your products, reach out to Brother Tindy, Lovers of Abundance. Reach out to him. He's going to help you in making sure that your products, everything you want is well animated and is beautiful. All right, so thank you so, so much. Every other person that is listening and is not saying anything, I still appreciate you, okay? In fact, I believe you enjoyed my broadcast as much as I enjoyed your presence. Thanks so much, brother, for promoting my channel and my goal. That's why we are here. We are to help and to complement each other, not to fight and envy each other. We are building a community based on love and mutual respect for one another. Till I come your way again, my name is Augustine. Cheers and do have a lovely day. Bye for now.